Hello.
Well, that's a great introduction, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the very first in our hopefully weekly series if none of us die or get hit by a meteorite or North Korea. But, those are just things that we have to worry about in this day and age. And we're here to bring you something fun, entertaining, and a spin on the old idea of a book club. I am Taylor, aka LA Shadow, and this is my young and millennial co host.
Sean. Sean. Hello.
He also
People
played
who,
Shaggy at one point, apparently.
yeah. Uh, Shaggy's a good character. Yeah. I'm here. I exist.
It's very true.
Uh,
He does. I've seen him. I'm one of the few. He's like
the few that have
Sasquatch.
seen me. I'm like Sasquatch. All my internet buddies. They don't see me. Uh, yeah. Uh, and I've done some hosting things. I did a radio program for a while where I like DJ'd, but I would put on a funny like role play voice. Uh, yeah, and
Was it your southern voice?
no, it wasn't. It was actually my Orson Welles voice. I talked like this the entire time, and my name was General Concarne. Um, uh,
Of
it
course
was
it
a part
was.
of it was part of school too. Like we did it in school. Um, all right, that was quite an introduction. I think we should probably talk about why we're talking about music, like why we're interested in it. Um, Taylor, how,
Hmm.
how did you get into music?
Oh my god, this is like answering. Uh, that's a hard. I got into music just because I've always been around it. Like since I've been young, music has constantly been playing. I've always picked up on what's, well, for me, good. I've always had very strong taste either way in music. I used to be when I was younger. My tastes weren't the best. I'll admit that, but they've matured and aged well. Uh, I've just like music has always been my constant in life. It's always my affinity. People can come, people can go, but music won't leave. It's very much a rock in my life. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I got into music like I think when I was young, it was sort of something to hold on to because I had to when I was young I had to move away from where I came from, and so it was sort of like a connection to my family.
Mm.
Because they had bands they liked and they tell me about them, so I'd like listen to them. A big one that I think the first taste I ever developed for another band that was I didn't hear from like an uncle or brother was Metallica. And I think that probably came from like playing Guitar Hero, I think, and it was just I don't know, I just loved how heavy they were. Um, and then as I grew older, I stopped listening to music when I was a young teen, but then like talking with some like teachers who are at the school I was at, they talked about music all the time, and it kind of got me into it. And I just went around and like looked for classics and listened to them, like Pink Floyd and all that. Um, and so I just sort of got into it, and now I just search out music all the time now. Um, yeah, that's how I got into music. Um,
So
uh,
not dissimilar.
yeah. I think my journey took a bit longer and it was a bit more complex. Uh, but it's probably better that you've listened to music for a long time. Uh,
So
yeah.
you hear that? Our no listeners at this point. Not only in our first episode does he say his life is more complicated than mine, but that I'm old too.
Well, I didn't.
Thank
I
you.
didn't. Did I say life? I didn't. I don't think so. My journey to music was more complicated. Just music.
I just like
Uh,
torturing you. It's fun.
thanks. Uh, yeah. Um, so what do we like? What do you mean you like? That's
The
what.
same or like just in general? Because I think you and me have very differing music taste on a lot of things.
Yeah. Certainly. I think what do we both like? What do we have in common in terms of music taste? Um, I can think of I sort of have a soft spot for like emo. You do too, right? Um,
Depending on the decade, yeah, I do.
My Chemical Romance. I think we like a few of their records.
Yeah, I just don't like the album everybody else likes. I hate Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I really don't like that album.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hear about that album a lot. I hear, everyone talks about the Black Parade because that was a crazy single. Um, uh, but I think their actually like best stuff is fucking Bulletproof High.
Danger
That
Days.
album, Danger Days. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
my
that's the
favorite
one.
as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one was also like a critical darling. I think a lot of people liked it just because it was sort of like a unique thing for like the emo scene. Was the like dystopian sort of setting. It was uh,
Well,
it was set in.
well, just remember the key rule: don't ever call Gerard Way emo to his face, or he gets upset, as we've learned.
I mean, it's funny. Like the emo genre is so like weird. Like I love Bright Eyes.
Ugh.
Which I consider emo like even more emo than Gerard Way stuff. Like just because it's about emotions and like feelings about like the way to be rather than being dramatic.
Well,
Uh,
well, it's like
uh,
different decades of emo too. Like most of my emo stuff comes from like almost like the late 80s or early 90s, like Rites of Spring, the original like incarnations of AFI, uh,
mm,
which was more of the punk emo sound. Like that's the thing. Like the emo of the 2000s very much was pop punk emo,
yeah.
and the older stuff was a lot more in the old vein of punk, where it was raw.
Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't have any sort of appreciation for like what My Chemical Romance was doing, but I think like because I always saw it as like sort of like so self-important, like they're just like being so dramatic, like about like these problems that'll really just go away.
Well,
Uh,
the thing about that though is, I to be a musician, there has to be a level of self-importance, right?
yeah,
Nobody wants
yeah.
to listen to the guy who's like, everything's fine, it's cool, it's chill. Except that one song, "Don't Worry, Be Happy." That song got popular because of that, but everything
Oh,
else, not so much.
I mean, that's Rasta is just sort of like being playful. Uh, not too intense.
Our other big mutual like would probably be Ghost.
Oh, Ghost, yes, Ghost. They're great. They have a flair for dramatic, like for drama, but I don't think it's like it's not in the same way where it's like about so much about themselves, more as about like concepts they're interested in.
Well, they're very much into the theatrics, like Alice
Yeah,
Cooper and Marilyn Manson before them.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know. I just love the images their songs like put in my head. Their first record, Opus Eponymous, which is literally self-titled in Latin, has like this like the perfect sort of if you've read like Hellboy sort of vibe to it, um, where it kind of like I don't know ghouls, vampires, these things, but sort of like taking them a bit seriously, a bit not seriously at the exact same time. A bit campy, and that's why I love that record and most of Ghost really. Um,
Agreed, and I will always thank Ghost for getting onto mainstream radio with the line, uh, "Are you ready to swear right here, right now for the devil?" Yes.
yeah, I think we live in a time where like people aren't as fearful of the devil because we're all becoming nihilists slowly but surely. Um,
Okay.
self-worshipping nihilists.
I know you guys thought at the start of this that I was the pessimistic one, but now you don't think that, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pessimistic, but I want to be optimistic about my pessimism. I don't know. I want to be a hopeful nihilist. Um, that's my goal.
So,
Anyway,
is hopeful nihilism meaning like when you hang yourself, it snaps in one go?
yeah. I mean, I'm hoping. Um, all right. How about we talk about a favorite album? Do you have a favorite album?
It changes a lot. Like, but
Yeah.
my biggest consistent for best album is probably Tripod by Alice in Chains.
I have not. Alice in Chains. Yeah, I've not heard that one. Is that the one with the album cover, the three-legged dog?
Yeah, the album's actually titled Alice in Chains, but the fan name for it is Tripod because of the dog.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, I think my favorite album, I think like I have one where where I'll say like it's kind of my favorite, like and I feel like it's the best one that I've listened to, but like I don't always feel so emotionally invested in it every time I listen to it. But by the Australian rock band The Drones, I see Seaweed is probably my favorite. It's a great record. Um uh it's very depressing. So if anyone gives it a listen, just like be sure you know that. And it's like long songs and kind of slow. Um, but it's a decent listen. Uh,
It's not bad.
it's not bad. Yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good way to put it. But I think like when you like choose a favorite album, you'll be like listening to it a lot. But I think any album, if you just keep to it, you eventually wear it out. You know?
I agree. That's why it's hard to say a favorite album can change per day, but I pick my album because I'll come back to it all the time. Like after even if I stop listening to it, I'll eventually listen to it again. I won't just give it up entirely like I have some albums.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel the same way about that Drones album because like I'll come back to it. It inspired I am also Mishan who is here is also a writer and it inspired like something like 120 pages of my novel. So, you know,
Get,
it clearly affected me.
getting the plugs
Uh,
in early, Sean?
yeah, the plugs for not for what my Google Docs,
Yes.
like they all just want to see my Google Docs.
Well, it's a plug in this case. You're like, I'm writing a book. That's a plug.
Yeah,
Technically, that's a
I,
plug.
I don't know if it's ever gonna come out.
Oh,
Like,
vey.
uh,
Self-publishing's a thing.
I guess so.
Amazon
I'll just
exists.
I'll just write like I'll like hand copy my book onto pieces of paper and then mail them out. Um,
There's this thing called PDFs now.
what?
Yeah, there's
Uh,
this fancy new reading thing.
yeah. I think also another album I'd probably be like somewhere around favorite is Close to the Edge by Yes.
I,
It's
mm.
classic prog rock, which this boy does not like. Um, why don't you like prog rock?
It's too long and self-indulgent.
I I agree because I've like listened to prog albums where I'm just not getting anything out of it, and it's just like a super long song. But there are certain like prog rock albums that I find like Yes does it a lot, but they have like really good sounding songs that are just sweet. You know, they're nice. They're like big extended pop songs. Um, and it's not too self-indulgent. Sometimes when I'm listening to King Crimson, it's just so I just can't like the musicianship is good, but I just can't appreciate it.
Well, like
Uh,
when I say self-indulgent, I usually mean like for this, it's not like self-indulgent like we were talking about MCR. It's more self-indulgent in in
like
musically self-indulgent.
yeah.
Also, right after saying that stuff's too long and self-indulgent, oh my god, English, please. Uh,
Dungeon.
shut up, you. One of my favorite genres is doom metal. Probably one of the slowest,
Oh,
most plodding music in the world, but I love it. It's just such a mournful sound. Like Typo
uh,
Negative are still the kings of that sound to me. Rest in peace, Peter Steele.
I've listened to a typo negative once or twice. Um,
Just
yeah, I
someone with the
mean
blood type or the band?
both. I can't confirm that she or he had typo negative. Um, Uh, let me let me think. Yeah, I mean, I think I've listened to some. I've at least tried doom metal, and I don't know. I guess I think you have to find like when it comes to genres, the first album that clicks with you. You have
Mm.
to, and I think that really helps you get into one. Uh, like I haven't been able to get into more like hardcore like metal like types of metal. Um,
I'm a big
but
fan
in
of those types of metal.
uh, I think the most brutal thing I've probably listened to and liked is well, end position, but also which isn't metal.
Really helping your
Fucking
case.
Slayer.
Oh, and that's not even like very high on the spectrum a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I think in terms of performances, like all the stuff on like Rain in Blood is like super fast and super aggressive.
Also, one of the best riffs ever put to guitar is Rain in Blood.
Raining Blood is probably like I love Metallica, but I think Raining Blood is probably one of my or it's probably a tie between Raining Blood and
Angel of Death.
one no in terms of like favorite metal song and one from
Hmm.
and Justice for All, which and Justice for All is my favorite Metallica album, which is a weird choice I've heard. Um,
At least you didn't pick Load.
oh, do you know what that album cover is?
I can't think of it off the top of my head to tell you the truth.
So that the album cover to the Metallica album Load is literally it's someone's semen that they backlit with red light. No, it's semen mixed with blood, and they've backlit it with light, and they took a photo of it, and they pissed off main singer man from Metallica
James
by
Hetfield.
yeah, they only did it just to piss him off because he wasn't like he likes art, but he doesn't like it like in a way like a hardcore band where they have like gross stuff. Like he prefers his stuff like cleaner. And I, I just thought that was a funny fact. I don't know. Like
That's
I'm probably similar way.
well,
Uh,
for like for me, I've always been a big fan of metal in general. When I was in high school, I was super into black metal, like probably the hardest of the hard, like Burzum, Demu Borgir. Cradle of Filth doesn't like being called black metal, but that's what I always classified them as. Now there's a thing called extreme metal. Like I could go into like my likes of certain metal genres for hours. I won't do that today, but I could do it. But well, we were talking about what we liked. But what genres do we not like? What things do we not enjoy?
um, I think generally, most things I like, I can find something in country or metal or grunge that I like, or like even harder forms of metal. But I don't think I'll ever like a dubstep group of any sort. I think it's beyond me.
Uh, well, I come from similar things, but like I can very much narrow down what I don't like in certain genres. Like I don't like mainstream pop country. I really don't. I don't.
No, well, who does? Like
Well,
that's
obviously
that's what.
somebody does.
Those are like people who are like farmers or fishers, and they're just and it describes their lifestyle of driving through the country, and that's the only people it's for.
Well, there's a lot of
Uh,
those people. You might be alienating people who are gonna listen to two like very bitter metal fans and like weird genre fans talk about their music.
yeah, I guess they aren't bad. They're just not for us. Um, uh, and I think like coming down to it, like country, there's better country out there if you want that. Like it's, I just think it's just trying to mix too many elements of nowadays, and it kind of ruins the idea of country. There's nothing wild about like they had in like older country, like outlaw sort of country.
Well,
Um,
that still
and like
exists in the sub
yeah,
elements, like you said, like alt country and Americana country.
yeah, a really weird country album. Let me find it. Let me find its name. It's sort of like this weird psych country that also like mixes in with rock. Uh,
Sounds like Hank 3.
uh, Let me find it. Way. Raining Blood is so good. I'm listening to it right now. Um, uh, I'll find it. But Sturgill Simpson. Uh, A Sailor's Guide to Earth. It's a really weird album where Sturgill Simpson he recently just did like psychedelic sort of country that it like he's a big fan of psychedelic drugs. But his I think it's his most recent album came out in 2016. Is like an entire album about like introducing his son to Earth and like trying to guide him through things. Um, it's a definitely a good listen. Uh, it's better than it is. I guess it is more of an aim than his earlier stuff. Uh, all right.
I'll check that out. If anyone takes a suggestion, I'll check that out. At least you'll have one suggestion. Who's that's taken? Uh,
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
another genre I generally dislike more nowadays than you do is rap music.
Yeah,
Generally, I mean.
I like rap music. I think like there's like always good stuff in any genre, right? Like we might have been just talking about like trash about modern country, but like there's Sturgill Simpson, like I was just talking about, or other things within country that are probably pretty good.
Those Poor Bastards, Hank William 3, Sons of Perdition.
I saw Sons of Perdition. They had like a did they did like a they did like a college animation, right? They put the background music for that, right?
The Undertaker's song, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's this awesome animation. Maybe we'll put it in the description box. But it's like a western town going crazy. It looks like Arkansas or something. Sort of looks like Borderlands, the video game Borderlands. Uh,
Yeah, it helps that like Sons of Perdition in particular, if you couldn't tell by their name, have a very much a religious bend to a lot of their music. Like
yeah,
in a good way though. They're not preachy about it, in my
yeah.
opinion.
I think music with a religious bend is sort of like it's definitely on the downturn. Like nobody's interested in it.
But which is weird because oh my God, who's the guy who sings "Take Me to Church"?
Take me to church. The
Hosier? I'm not sure how to.
Hosier.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Hosier.
Okay,
Uh,
we've said that his name four different ways. Somebody help us if we're wrong. But
yeah,
that entire album, which is actually an excellent album, is very much gospel inspired. You can feel it in just how he sings. It's very much like almost a choir uplifting in a lot of his songs. Also really
yeah.
messed up in other songs, but it's a very much a very good album.
I think I think the most interesting thing about religion in the modern world is how it is being like left behind. Um,
I think it's how it's being interpreted now. That's what I enjoy about it.
eh, I don't. I think in general we're moving into a very like
Secular,
liberal time, secular
a
like
secular haze,
yeah,
perhaps.
secular haze. Oh my God, that song, awesome. Uh, the secularism. It's kind of like everywhere, which is I think a good thing. But it's also it is moving into a haze, like where we don't know quite what we're gonna come out with, what society will be tomorrow. Um,
Well, the big
what's
thing about a lot of that stuff, before we actually get back on topic, uh, is I think a lot more people now, beyond if they're not just flat out atheists, if they are religious in some way, it's more to not an organized church anymore. It's more to like an idea than
yeah.
than a book.
I mean, I think half the religions I've like looked up are just like bastardized versions of old religions, like that are just like because the dude who's like the king dude who was like I want to divorce, so now I'm gonna create my own church, or like Mormons even, like it's just like this guy started to make up things in like the 1820s or something, and
Allegedly.
then you, yeah, allegedly make up things. Uh, but like, and that just became an entire new religion, and now polygamy is a Mormon thing. It's so weird. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like in a way religions only here in ways where it like it's in a lot of people's morals, and they just don't realize it, you know. Um,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. Um, it's- now we should get back on topic.
Yeah, we should
Uh,
probably actually discuss what we're going to be doing on this podcast besides
yes,
rambling.
yeah.
That's
We're
what the first picture is going to be. It's just going to be like a black box with the words "ramble" written in it.
okay. It's like the big thing from 2001: A Space Odyssey, like the big monolith.
No,
Uh,
yeah, it's going to be coming up out of the ground. Uh,
yeah.
it's going to be in
Uh,
Gothic, copperplate Gothic bold too. Yes, font. My favorite font.
ooh, yeah, like what all the gangsters get tattooed on their back.
Which is really weird because that's such like an old like Victorian Gothic like font. Like it's very much a Gothic subculture type looking thing.
I think it because it looks tough. That's probably why. Like it's tough and it's dark,
It looks
and
regal.
I yeah, it looks regal. Like I think it's meant to reinforce the toughness and the darkness of the lives that they think they're living. Which I'm not saying that they're not dark, but whatever. On topic. What are we going to be doing here
Well,
weekly?
every week, and we'll be alternating. We will be doing the first next week. We'll be doing an album that's in the top 20 this week currently.
Yeah, at the time of recording, uh, we will get a random album from the top 20. We're going to be rolling a d20 as you would with a role-playing game, and picking one. And this week we got number 4, um, which is right now. Let's see, 9:12 p.m. Uh, let's see, August 21st, 2017, in the Eastern time, is Wins and Losses by Meek Mill, which I have no idea. I have no idea about this album. It's a hip hop album. Um,
Oh God.
I'm excited, uh, personally, to see how we react to this. On Pitchfork, they give it a 7.4, which is kind
Average.
of average, like it might be. Well, I think actually 7, it's really above average when you think about it, because
Eh.
average should be a 5.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. That's true. But you know how people are with scales nowadays. People think like a seven's bad, as bad as a
yeah,
four, which it's really not. But anyway. But all right, and to continue on from that, because
yeah,
I hate new music a lot of the time. Sean, I think, is indifferent to it most of the time.
yeah,
So every other week we will be alternating. Like after next week, we will be picking an album from one of us and listening to it all the way through. So I get to make him suffer sometimes, and he gets to make me suffer, or we'll both like it.
oh, that'd be nice.
That would be
Um,
nice.
yeah, I think it might be some fun, and you guys can listen too if you want to.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
that's why this is the music book club. We will share music, and you guys can listen along and tell us what you thought of the things in the comments below or wherever we're to.
yeah, we'll probably make Twitter or something. Um,
Probably. We
I got a Twitter. I can just throw it down there. It's got I've like only ever tweeted out for my own stupid bullshit that no one's gonna look at. Um,
100 subs, I'll make a Twitter. There you go. That's my
I
promise.
got 14 followers, 100 subs. Yeah, we can make it there real fast. Get him a Twitter, and I'll someone gets to the 100th follower gets to submit his picture, his Twitter picture. Um,
His Twitter? Oh, my Twitter picture.
yeah, exactly. Uh,
Nothing that would get me instantly like banned on Twitter. By the way, no, or not banned, but like nothing that's gonna make people I know. You know what? I don't care. I won't tell anyone I really know I'm doing this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or the Twitter thing. I'll tell them I'm doing this. I won't tell them the Twitter thing. Yeah.
What are we embarrassing? Are we embarrassing you?
Not
Um,
you. I don't know who the 100th person is.
yeah. Um,
It could be like
yeah. Just
some weird like furry crap. Just giving people ideas. I'm gonna stop talking now.
yeah. Like really, you don't say anything, and you're gonna make it worse. Um, yeah. All right. So now y'all know about the music book club. The um and now I think we have just for this first week, because I don't think it could last any longer, the worst music video
Z.
we music videos that we've ever seen right now. And I we'll put links to them in the description. I think we should go first with the easy stuff. Yours.
See the shots fired, dear listener. Shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired. We're insert clip of that in post. Um,
I'm editing this. You're lucky you're getting a picture. A
oh yeah.
static picture.
All right, all right. What's your worst music video ever?
Well, this is the worst music video for me because one, this actually killed this band's momentum almost entirely. Like it actually almost killed their career, and that's Billy Squires' "Rock Me Tonight."
Yes, and that's down there in the box that describes things. Um,
The
yeah, I
description.
mean, the description box. Yes, I I give it a watch before he started. It's so I
It's
don't know. It's just
bad.
like it's bad, but it's just like it's like the least amount of effort
That's what
they could
makes it
probably.
worse. That's okay. This dude in this video is dancing all around a room. I say dancing liberally.
Yeah, it's more like flailing in a way that pleases him.
This is like seeing someone at the bar dance. It's like, why are they dancing like that? It's like, oh, they've drank like 4 bottles of whiskey, and then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's not an excuse here, I don't think.
I mean, I'd be surprised if he didn't. But have you seen Hotline Bling,
Oh God,
the
this.
music video?
Yes, I watched it. I watched it when you watched Rock Me Tonight. I still maintain mine's just as bad, but for different reasons. Your video.
Oh no, no, I was talking about Hotline Bling, the Drake song.
Oh Jesus, don't
The-
get me. Don't. No, never. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I've seen that before. I hate Drake. I just don't like his music. I find it irritating. And oh God.
that I I personally think for the Hotline Bling music video that it's like it's like I just like seeing Drake dance however he wants to dance. I mean, it's more embarrassing than Billy
No,
Squires even
I,
here.
I disagree with that because when this video came out was like peak MTV, peak of the music video generation. And it tried so hard and failed spectacularly. That's what makes this a very big video for oh my god. How did they think this was going to be cool? There's a moment in this video where he's rolling around with a pillow in the bed.
Yeah, and there was like
There's no girls by the way, it's just the band
yeah, he was just yeah, there's like it looks like there was like some action in that bed, but it was probably just him like
by
humping
himself.
the yeah, like him humping the bed itself. I think that's most likely what happened. Uh, but yeah, I think like it was a big failure. Like I'm sure that's what it was. But I think in terms of music video, it's like it's more it's like akin to a like bad blockbuster, like a flop. Um, where where mine, which is a song called by Little Uzi Vert, and it's this music video for XO Tour Life 3. No, not even no. Tour Life 3. Um uh and like yeah, again, his was just sort of like bad in a silly way. Like mine's like
Bad in a what the
narcissistic.
fuck way.
Yeah, like what the fuck am I looking at? Um it like this was embarrassing. Like it's such an embarrassing video. Like about like worse than Billy Squire. Like um
In different ways,
yeah,
perhaps.
in different ways. Yeah, like a lots of like recent artists have like been showing off like their influences on their sleeve, right? Like there lots of hip hop boys have been like I don't know, like showing off like their stuff in anime or stuff like that, or showing off that they like anime because that's becoming more cool in rap question mark.
Well,
And so
more people grew up with it now would be my guess, but yeah.
yeah, it's less odd. The geek culture's taken over. Um
About time.
and and Little Uzi Vert, his first like mixtape had like a cover that was basically just a recolor of Scott Pilgrim. Like and he obviously liked it, but he comes out with all these songs and like stuff that are like sort of like themed after it, but don't understand what makes the original one strong, like what makes Scott Pilgrim good. And this music video is like it's just pure garbage. Like it looks like it was made in 48 hours with a budget of $50.
What I was gonna say is like, for one thing, I actually do appreciate when a lyric video puts effort in. Now, this might not be a lot of effort, but there was effort put into it, so I appreciate it on that level. But the animation looks like something you would have saw on Newgrounds in the 2000s.
Worse. Like honestly, like
Sometimes there's a lot on Newgrounds.
I think the worst part of it is not even like little Uzi looks like a 2005 dating MMO character.
That's oh my
Um,
god, yeah, you're right. Actually, the girl too.
it's but the girls they seem like they almost have a bit more. They look more cartoony, but in a worse way. Like it looks like they were made in MS Paint. Like I saw this pretty girl at the club, and now let's draw her on in my MS Paint. Um,
If you do
uh,
that, if anyone at home does that, don't. It's creepy.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like it's kind of identical to just drawing them in a notebook, but somehow it's worse. It's just so much worse.
I'm really
It
glad we're only talking about the music video because like the song actually bugs me because I've heard songs like this before and I've heard like other songs do it better.
it's I personally like I sort of like the beat to the song, but
Oh no. There's like weird like pops and noises in it that reminds me a lot of trap music and oh god, I don't like it.
I don't think I don't hate trap music, but I think more than often it's just background music for like getting drunk and or like sipping on a purple drink.
Oh
But
lord.
I personally like the beat, but all the lyrics they're so contradictory. Um, like 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 he wants it's sort of like he like wants to mean something to this other person, but all he can describe himself as is like drinking, having money, and fucking other people's bitches. Like the chorus is kind of is like super edgy.
Oh, it's
Uh,
100% edgelord. There's another line in the song that's super edgelord. Like, all my friends are dead. All my friends are dead.
yeah, which is which is like the hook. And how do you, it's like at first I was sort of interested by that, but then when you actually look at the detail in the verses, let me see. Uh, let's look at a bar. Looking at you stacking all your money, it all green, though I was counting that in these all 20s, that's a G roll.
Like, okay. That's one thing I will give you. This song actually bugs me as a song. Rock Me Tonight's actually like a good 80s song.
Yeah, I like that song. I I also sort of like the song until I looked at the lyrics. They're just so bad. I don't know. Rock Me Tonight, I enjoy that. I especially like every time I listen to it, I just wait to get to the chorus. I feel like it's pretty iconic.
So
And
you know that's like the telltale sign of an 80s like rock jam, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, the
yeah,
chorus is coming up. It's like here I go again on my own.
yeah. These are always like powerhouses.
Yeah, but like I will say like it's true like the way he talks in the songs and the way that the chorus comes across, at least to me, it's like he's upset that people are like. There's a line in the song where it says someone told him to go and die. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you're a dickhead.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like like
Maybe that's
like
intentional. Maybe
I think there is a certain amount of intention to it, but
tongue in
I think
cheekness.
I don't think so. I think there's this hater syndrome, right? Like why does a rapper have a hater? And I think
But
like
everyone
oh
has haters.
yeah, but like I think rappers like it's a part of the culture, but I think a lot of it has to do with is that like I don't know, it's music that's meant to appeal to kids who don't like think about anything, so they just like listen to it,
This in
and
particular, I'm you're talking about, just to be clear, right?
yeah,
Okay, that's more for the
this
listeners than me.
yeah, yes, this and like other rap really like Nicki Minaj. Like Nicki Minaj has ability every once in a while. She can like actually rap sometimes, but generally her stuff is just for kids who are like, "Oh man, I liked her on that song. I guess I'll buy her a new record." Um, they would not say record. They'd say like album. Um,
Well, you're weird for saying record because you're a millennial, right?
yeah. I mean, I like calling them records because I like having a larger vocabulary. Anyway, um, uh, simply. Um, but it's this sort of like this not understanding of why like nobody cares about what you're talking about. Like I mean, like if you're just talking about drinking, smoking, and getting like just getting high in general, there's nothing really to say there. And people hate you because you have nothing to you, right? Like there's nothing else to do but do that. Um, uh,
Well, like a big part of it, maybe it's like, well, it's very much like for a long time, like the way you're talking about this song is how a lot of people viewed like 80s rock, right? It's like it's for
yeah,
like the bros. They wouldn't be bros back then. They'd be bros today. It's all about
dudes.
sex, drugs, rock and roll, right? That's it.
Yeah,
Now there are some bands in that outlier that did more. It's the same as every genre, but like anything that's on the mainstream radio right now, it usually doesn't have like a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of thought put into it, but I don't think you're supposed to be looking in it for deeper meanings and stuff. And I think that's a problem for people like us who actually
yeah,
enjoy doing that. You and me talked once about a Leonard Cohen song for an hour, one song,
yeah. That
and we
was
were both
well,
wrong.
it was
You want it
I,
darker.
yeah. Oh, that's such a good song. Yeah, you want it darker, right?
It's like,
What?
yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to like I don't know, like it covered up when you were speaking. Anyway, yeah, great song, and there's because he's like an acclaimed songwriter, right?
Hmm.
Like
Probably the
um
one of the best Canadian songwriters ever, or ever, just songwriters in general, to be honest.
yeah, like you could talk about in the same breath as like Bob Dylan, not in terms of popularity, but in terms of quality.
I don't know,
Uh
man. Like Hallelujah was like, he's not the most known for singing it, but he wrote Hallelujah.
what's who's most popular
Oh, if
for
that
like singing?
if
Is it
you
a
if that's what you mean, it's Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's a way more popular singer than Leonard Cohen.
okay, yeah. I think it has to do with well, I think Bob Dylan, he had some like pretty complex songs. Like I've heard stuff like people talk about All Along the Watchtower,
Hmm.
and there's lots of theories about it that are like very interesting. There's lots of huge subtlety in like simple lyrics, but there's complexities underneath the surface.
Well, see,
Where-
one thing I like about those type of music is like I can have my interpretation, you can have yours, and the singer might have his own. And to certain bands, like we're not wrong. We got what we wanted out of that song. That's good enough for them. They don't care if we see their vision in the song,
Yeah,
right? Like
that's
Pearl
that's
Jam famously did that with Alive.
yeah. Hi. I feel like I don't like it when like artists in general, not just music, but everything else, um, try to ascribe a meaning to their work because I don't know, yeah, like let people look into it to how they want to, and really you haven't failed. Um, like like David Lynch is one of my favorite filmmakers. He's even done his own like music and stuff, and he like purposely doesn't talk about what his things mean, you know? Like he gets angry when people ask about it, and you know they're always going to ask about it, but he has very cryptic work. And I feel like music can be the same way, right? Like it's just meant for you to experience and take what you want out of it.
Well,
Uh,
and I think that's like our problem. To get back to our original topic, is our problem with this song? I think we're very much looking for a deeper meaning, and there probably isn't. Like the deepest meaning I can find is the song is being tongue in cheek, but that might not be true. So,
I feel like in a way what makes it worse is that I feel like he almost tries for something. Like he's like trying, like he's got these edgy topics. And now having something be sort of edgy can like or dark, let's just say dark, can like lean to interest and like meaning. But I don't think he understands how to put that into a song, how to write, you know? He's not a writer really. Uh, he just puts rhymes together. I guess he's a rapper. I guess
yeah,
you'd
but
call him that.
see, even though I'm not a big rap fan and you are, I do subscribe to the idea that rap music written well is just like any other song. Like there's a story to it, there's like a meaning to it, right?
Yeah.
But I know
And
I get what you're saying. You're saying it's more for the flow than it is just for like the for a meaning or for like a direct like story in the song.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And and I feel like there's even like rap groups who
Wu Tang.
Wu-Tang, yeah, Wu-Tang's a great example of somebody like of a group that doesn't quite fit the like meaning. Like they don't have like tons of meaning in their song. But I
But
think
they're
their
fun.
execute yeah, they're fun. They have like such great execution,
Limp
right?
Bizkit.
No, not Limp Bizkit.
Yes, Limp Bizkit.
Get Limp Bizkit the fuck out of here, okay?
That's gonna be
Like,
my first album choice. That's probably gonna be. Yeah.
no. Um,
I'll pick an album
one
I
last
don't like. It'll be fine.
the one last thing about that music video is that in the first like 20 like first second even when the plane comes into view, that is not what a plane looks like. It does not have that back like weird open thing. That's like the sort of back a nothing has a back like that. Instantly got things wrong. That's how I knew when I first watched this it was going to be terrible.
But,
Was it
oh my god! You know what we should have done? It just occurred to me what I actually think the worst music video ever is. That
what?
that dude with the shark teeth.
With the shark teeth?
That video you tortured me and Tom with.
Oh, oh my God. Yes, this artist.
What the hell is his name?
Tiptoeing in my
Yeah,
Jordan.
that's the name of the song.
Riff Raff.
Riff Raff. Yes.
Riff Raff is great.
You know, the weird thing about that video is I don't think it's a good video, but it's very like artsy in a very like weird way.
I think it's. Well, they got like weird like cyber
Imagery.
computers. Yeah, imagery. The women.
Him.
Um, yeah, him. Just like he looks weird. I
No,
I
that's not what I meant. But like he has like an aesthetic to him.
yeah. Well, I don't I actually think that song's like fun in an ironic way, where it's just like so terrible I love it. Uh,
You're such a
and it's not.
hipster.
Yeah. I mean, I am a hipster, and it's. I don't think it's unlistenable. It's pretty terrible, but I recommend everybody go out and listen to Tiptoe Wing, not Tiptoeing, Tiptoe Wing in my Jordans.
I will
Uh,
say this: if you don't like music that gets stuck in your head, don't listen to it. It will like I didn't like the song that much, and it got I was like humming the chorus for like a week. It's terrible.
yeah. There's lots of goofy good shit in it. Um,
But there's like speculation that Riff Raff is intentionally acting this way. Like he does these songs intentionally to sound this
I
way.
I
I have
hope
heard people say that.
that'd be the good outcome. That's the good ending to this, you know, visual novel. Like because like I think that would make it even like people would like him even more if it was intentional. Like
He actually
because
like has a big following, doesn't he? At least on YouTube. Like
yeah,
he always
yeah,
gets like a lot of views and stuff.
yeah. But I feel like he's sort of like a gag rapper, so I think his like the Lonely Island, right? Like they sort of lost traction because they didn't have something special enough to define them. Lonely Island being like an SNL group. Uh,
I'm a boss. I'm on a
uh,
boat.
I'm on a boat. I
Dick
just
in a
had
box.
sex. Yeah, yeah. They had like lots of good songs, but I feel like with time, it all falls apart.
Well,
Uh,
it, they're almost all their songs now are more remembered not so much for the song but for the memes they spawned, right?
yeah, because they have like a really like obvious funny element. That's why they're so eye-catching.
Oh,
Um,
oh, I agree, but like there are comedy bands who like sometimes the comedy almost displaces the original, like Weird Al, like White and Nerdy in my mind replaced Ride and Dirty relatively quickly.
oh yeah, because Ride and Dirty is also not a good song. It's
Ride, you combine both titles. It's
right.
Ride. You said White and Dirty.
No, I said
I thought you said
Ride
White
and
and
Dirty.
Dirty.
That would have been good though. Wide and Dirty. I mean, Weird Al's always the best. Weird Al, he lives. He survives in the current environment. Uh, because I feel like it's so rare that, modern culture gets like parodied while it's going on nowadays. Back in the day, that used to happen all the time. Weird Al was super popular.
Well,
Um,
it happens now, but now when someone, it's like in a. This is going to be a really odd reference if you guys are just music fans and not video game. It's like Duke Nukem, right?
yes.
Like old school Duke Nukem, like the games from the original PC were like a send up of the action movie hero. They were a
Yeah.
parody. The new game lost a lot of that charm, and almost all of its like in jokes and references were just going, look. It wasn't parodying it. It was just like this is a reference, which is not the same thing.
Yeah, I think. Well, that reminds me of all those movies, like Not Another Date movie or Scary Movie, where the joke is here is something that you know from pop culture getting hit or like shat on by the Hulk or something. Like just taking stupid bullshit and then cramming it into a movie, and then it's like, oh, I've seen the Hulk. Oh, they're pooping on the Hulk. That's so funny.
Well,
Um,
well, like I would argue for the first two scary movies because I do think those are a good send ups of horror movies. Specifically, the first one was I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, and the second one was like the haunted house type thing.
yeah.
But the rest of them kind of lost that. It's in the same way, or like what the hell was the movie? There, he just kept kicking people in the well. That's 300,
Oh,
but there was a
oh,
parody movie. Ugh.
oh no. What was that? I don't know. I think that was in one of
Epic
them, I'm pretty
movie,
sure. Epic movie.
or is
Oh
that the
my God.
superhero one?
I think you got it right. Epic movie. Let me look. I totally forgot it existed.
I know it's
But
hard to
it's
believe, but some podcasters do have interest outside of what we do are talking about. So, like, I will say, like, if you're a fan of rambling, this is going to happen regardless. But if it is too much sometimes, I will like if you hear an odd skip, it'll probably be taken out. Like if we're like if we start talking about like one song and then we go 20 minutes on like I don't know, James Brown. That's probably going to well James Brown's music, so not James Brown.
if
Uh
you go
but
20 minutes on Duke Nukem.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. That's probably never going to happen, but if it did,
um, yes, epic movie with a 2.3 on IMDb. Um, no, no, thank you.
are we going to be doing ratings for the albums we listen to? Or at
Good,
least the new releases?
good question. I think we should.
I think
I
we should
think.
steal the Meltzer star rating system.
Tell me about it.
1 to 5.
Okay.
5 is
Um,
almost like well 5. It's or we could just use 1 to 10. It's the same
I,
thing. It gives us
I
more
think
like leeway.
I think I think we should do the five. One through five.
Okay. Do we do halves or no halves?
Halves.
Okay.
Um, not quarters. Uh, yeah, that sounds good.
You're a
Um,
quarter.
I'm a quarter. Um, All right.
Do you guys still use quarters in America?
Yeah, we use quarters.
Okay.
They're
I
pretty useful.
I miss the penny.
The penny sucks. It costs more money to make a penny in the United States than it is than it's worth.
Well, it's the same in Canada. Like we finally got rid of the penny, but it was nice to. Never mind. I remember having to carry those things around in my pocket. Never mind. Yeah.
All right. So, uh, I'm thinking maybe it's been a while. We've been talking for a while. Maybe we should sign off.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We've been. How long have we been recording? We've been going at this for. I'll tell you when we're done.
Okay.
Uh.
The Skype call's at least been 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's plenty of time. And like, this is only an introduction episode. Also, we will say we can't promise every episode will be an hour. Sometimes it'll be shorter. Especially, I really think if an album's just meh, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
We
can't talk about something that's mediocre. It's so hard.
Yeah, well, you
Um,
can, but then it would just be us talking about stuff that's better than it, or worse than it, and that's not really the point. But for something that's like super short, like if somehow it came down to like, oh, we only talked about this for like 5 minutes, well, we'll just do like another end segment like best music video,
yeah, best music video. Yeah.
clickbait
Um,
title, clickbait titles.
this is top ten music videos that feature women who are half naked and show side boob. Um, uh, all right.
That would be a very, that'd be like
I guess